waterman to me is just someone who enjoys all different sort of aspects of being in the ocean.
You know, to have that title, like the Pipeline Masters title, yeah, it's a total honor, but it has nothing to do with taming that wave, because it's always going to be, you know, it's always going to be the boss. It's always in control.
The North Shore season is definitely, you know, it's fun. I mean, I'm always psyched to surf pipe.
You know, you just get pumped up for winter, and you start ordering your winter quiver, and you just start dreaming about getting barrel that pipe and backdoor. And
the thing that I always look forward to the most is riding bigger boards and getting to surf bigger waves. And yeah, it's definitely always looming in the back of our head when it's getting close to the months of winter.
It's an amazing place. It has this energy about it, you know, and it's kind of like home, a second home, really.
I don't ever see the North Shore being overran or overpopulated, because the North Shore Land Trust is doing a great job to protect and save the beauty of this side of the island.
If this wasn't the surf mecca of the world, then, you know, a lot of people wouldn't have surf careers.
The term waterman's been thrown around a lot in the last few years. You know, I think it's like almost like a something that's been coined for marketing purposes. But a waterman to me is just someone who enjoys all different sort of aspects of being in the ocean. You know, whether it's just going for a swim, or diving, or fishing, or spearfishing, or surfing, or body surfing, bodyboarding. I mean, we're all basically just using the ocean to play, or for food, or for whatever. But for me, it's given me everything, you know. It's given me a job. It's given me, I mean, almost all my friends I've met through surfing. All my family stays together through going to the beach and enjoying the ocean. And for me, it's what it's all about. Typically, I spend a lot of time at home. I'm a family guy. I spend a lot of time with my kids and with my wife, and live in an ordinary lifestyle. For me, I think it makes me a better surfer, because I spend a lot of time at home hanging out with my family and having a lot of good quality time with my kids. Being there, I'm just like an everyday dad. I get my time to go when the waves are huge and go charge some huge waves, whether it be Mavericks or Cortez Bank or Jaws or whatever it might be. I get to go get my jollies and get my thrills and do my thing and go scare myself shitless, and then I can come back and be the dad I want to be and be there for my kids. So for me, it's a good balance. And then likewise, I'm a better dad because I get to surf all the time, and I'm a better surfer because I have a great balanced family life. You know, like with my own kids, you know, spending time in the ocean stuff with them is something that just kind of comes naturally. It's what I love to do when it's not a school day or whatever. I just take my kids to the beach and let them play in the sand, let them play in the ocean, take them surfing, help them learn how to swim. All that stuff, it just comes naturally in Hawaii. We're really lucky. The water's warm and clean, and they don't have to wear wetsuits and worry about, you know, anything really. It's just a kind of a safe place for them to be, and I feel like they'll, you know, meet friends and kind of grow up surfing and swimming and hopefully doing all the things I did growing up. Yeah, when I was a kid growing up, I grew up on the Big Island, and the waves around my house were real little. They were, you know, any swell overhead high is like kind of a big swell around where I live. And so I was more really into like performance surfing, and the best performance surfing when I was a kid was, in my mind, was Tom Curran. I just wanted to surf exactly like him, so I just was obsessed with trying my hardest to surf exactly like Curran. And then when I was about 15 years old, I packed up my stuff, I moved to the North Shore and came over and did high school over here. And I sort of immediately met Brock Little. And as soon as I met Brock, he sort of became my hero. He kind of took me under his wing and helped me kind of learn how to surf big waves, and he really pushed me a lot. And he was sort of, you know, like my role model as far as surfing goes. So I really looked up to Brock a lot, and I think without Brock influencing me, I would never have become the surfer I am today.
It's pretty crazy to think about. Like, I remember coming to the North Shore for the first time and being so freaked out. Like, the whole idea of coming to the North Shore with like a quiver of boards, waves like Sunset and Pipe. This was before even I surfed in the Triple Crown. And just like knowing that you're gonna probably surf waves bigger than you've ever seen totally freaked me out. To like learn how to surf the waves here, it was gonna take a while, because I definitely don't overpower them. It was more about understanding the waves and like how they break, and it's such a different energy in the ocean here, and there's so much more power that it took me a while to learn how to deal with that. I started coming and spending like 3 or 4 months here instead of just the normal month and a half that like everyone else would spend. I'd stay for another 2 months after, all the way up until the first contest usually, just because I knew I needed to learn how to surf here. And that's the only way I was going to do it. Just stay here and spend time here and surf and put myself in situations that, you know, you survive and you learn from. Now coming to the North Shore is like, it's more about coming to Hawaii. It's got such a different feeling now. Like getting off the plane, you're like in Hawaii, happy, really peaceful feeling of being here. Yeah, the high five was a high five, you know. I mean, that was a pretty monumental heat for me for a lot of reasons. You know, obviously a world title heat. Like if I won that heat, I won a world title. But still, that heat was pretty amazing. Just the fact that the waves were really, really good, and that's when it turned the corner for me. Like, and that's where it all started to click. Like that event, because I came into Hawaii with like a real legitimate chance at winning the world title, and I'd only surfed in 1 Pipe Masters before that, and I got the crap kicked out of me. All that time I put in just all started to totally make sense. I started like getting waves instead of watching all these guys get waves. Like they were actually me. I was making these waves and getting waves, and it was like, okay. I remember coming in the event, like Sonny Garcia just totally wrote me off. Like, well, he's never like made it out of a heat at Pipe, so he has no chance, you know. And I ended up like, that was kind of the event where I finally like put it together, and like I made it to the semis, and I lost in like a heat where we both had 10-point rides, and I lost to a guy that went on to win 11 world titles. 2000, I think 2000 was even more memorable, just because I remember waking up in the morning and the swell had gotten really big the night before, but it was supposed to drop off, and I woke up and it was like all second reef washing through. And I had first heat of the morning. I was down there in the dark, and I was like trying to see, and it was like just white water, like to the horizon, you know. And guys were out. Guys were trying to pick off like little insiders, you know. And the little insiders were like 10 footers, like doubling up, you know, on first reef. And they're like, it's on, you know. And I was so nervous, and I paddled out on my first heat against Pedersen Rosa and like squeaked through that heat. After that, I surfed against Andy in my next heat, and like that to me was like maybe the best heat I've ever had a pipe, because Andy was just like so reckless and just wanted anything, you know. And I think he thought he was just gonna steamroll me because he was just a maniac, you know. And it was pumping. So by the time we paddled out the quarters, it just stopped breaking on the second reef, and it was just like feathering out the back and like coming and hitting the first reef. It was like 10 feet, and there were some heavy waves, and I linked back then. It was top 3, and I like just linked into 3 of the like some of the better waves I've ever caught at pipe, you know. And it just happened to be against Andy, you know, and that was one of my like most memorable moments out there. You know, to have that title, like the Pipeline Masters title, yeah, it's a total honor, but it has nothing to do with taming that wave, because it's always going to be, you know, it's always going to be the boss. It's always in control, and you're just kind of, that day just happened to be my day. Everything just kind of fell into place for me, and just all that time that I'd put in surfing out there and trying to understand the wave, and having the swell be really west and have it be all lefts and not many rights was pretty important too. You know, it humbles you no matter what. Like, doesn't matter what you've accomplished out there, what you feel like, how much you feel like you have figured it out, like you'll still go out there and get beat down.
It's an honor to be out there, you know, with these guys. Amazing surfing going on, and just had a great day. It was fun, lots of fun waves, lots of great waves ridden, and it's nice to be here. Thanks.
The North Shore season is definitely, you know, it's fun. I mean, I definitely look forward to it. When I was a kid, I used to stay here all winter. You know, I just wouldn't even go home, and then nowadays, I'm always psyched to surf pipe.
Well, you know, it's September, it comes around, and you're thinking, oh, the North Shore is going to start breaking here pretty soon, or it does break in September. And, you know, you just get pumped up for winter, and you start ordering your winter quiver, and you just start dreaming about getting barreled at pipe and backdoor. And
always in your mind when it comes to the end of the summer, the first thing you're thinking of is Hawaii breaking and the first swells of Pipeline, and you know, riding bigger boards, and so for sure when we're sitting here in you know, October and that, we're definitely, you know, ready for it to start. And the thing that I always look forward to the most is riding bigger boards and getting to surf bigger waves. And yeah, it's definitely always looming in the back of our head when it's getting close to the months of winter.
Aloha spirit is just, it's you feel it, you know. It's I don't know how to say. It's like you have the trade winds blowing, the weather's warm, the winds are warm, the water's warm, and then there's this roughness to the ocean here, you know. So it's like this beautiful soft place on land, and then it's this hard breaking, you know, can be bone crushing place in the water. It's an amazing place. It has this energy about it, you know, and just some great people here. I have a lot of good friends here, and I come back, and it's kind of like home, a second home, really. It's just the power, and it's beautiful. It's scary. I mean, you know, you can go from getting spit out of the best way of your life to getting the beat down of your life, you know, and kind of knowing that, like, you know, hey, this is why I train. This is why I keep myself in shape, and it's for places like Hawaii and Tahiti. Connor seems to have something special when it comes to the rail, you know, and power surfing. He's a strong kid. And you could tell that he grew up, you know, probably up north, where you know, there's a lot of good point breaks, and it's a respected thing up there is to use your rail. And so I'm pretty impressed with Connor. Actually, I'm pretty stoked on him, and he's a good kid, and it's fun to see him do well. And Connor's got a big, bright future in front of him. You know, it's going to be fun to watch, and I'm glad that someone's going to carry on the rail tradition.